Hey guys, and welcome back to A&J Education YouTube channel. In today's video, my colleague James Milford and I are going to be discussing how to prepare for UK university interviews, specifically at some of the most selective universities, Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial, UCL, etc. So if you're applying to selective UK universities and you have an academic interview coming up, keep watching because this will be very useful to you. All right, well, James, great to have you back in the studio. James, so let's dive straight in. How do you actually prepare for an interview?
Well, I suppose when you're thinking about how you prepare for the interview, you've got to think about what the interviewer is looking for when they are assessing you. And again, that's a combination of your aptitude for a subject, your passion for the subject, and also your ability to think clearly and think aloud and to operate in that kind of tutorial environment. So there is certainly some value in reading around your subject and certainly brushing up on anything that you've put in your personal statement, because it's a very real possibility that you will be asked about that material.
Okay, guys, so, if you're lying about books that you've read, in your personal statement, be sure to at least read them before.
Yeah, it's certainly better to put one book on there that you've read rather than, list 10 or so different books. I mean, the interviewer is not going to expect you to have read a whole library on the topic. No. They just want you to demonstrate a certain passion for the subject and to have understood at least one piece of work within the discipline.
Sort of engage with it, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you basically don't lie on your personal statement. If you do lie, make sure that you actually read everything that that you've put in there.
Yep.
What else?
Yeah, so beyond demonstrating a passion for the subject and demonstrating that you've read what you've actually put on your personal statement, there isn't a huge amount of value in reading around the subject.
There isn't.
I think you should certainly be able to demonstrate the passion for the subject, and you should certainly know everything that you put on the personal statement. But I think the main focus should be on your ability to think clearly and be able to both express to express that reasoning both in writing and in speech. And so there, I really think you should be preparing by, just going through past interview questions and really seeing how you would respond to those questions and trying to justify your responses and to justify each step in your reasoning, and that can be really helpful to do with a friend, or someone who's also sitting in an interview, or someone who has taught you in the past, for example.
Oh, so it sounds like basically try to find a partner to do some practice with. And by the way, guys, 10 years ago when James and I were applying to university, it's kind of, you need to find someone in person, but now loads of forums, on discourse, there are online communities on, what's the, not BuzzFeed, what's the one, Reddit, on Reddit there are whole separate communities of students applying, so you can always find a buddy online and do some Skype and Zoom video practice, which so you don't even need to be.
Yeah, because these are your ability to think aloud and to justify your reasoning is a skill that you can certainly develop, and certainly just being comfortable thinking aloud is something you can very easily develop with just a few practice interviews.
No, great. Okay, so read around the subject and specifically read around the stuff that you've added in the personal statement. Try to find a practice buddy, whether a friend, a teacher, somebody. Any other practical advice?
Yeah, I think it's just becoming comfortable with the format of the interview and knowing in advance what kind of process you're going to be going through, and then just also practicing your ability to approach a new problem and just reason through the problem aloud.
It's interesting you say aloud, and that's something a number of colleagues who obviously been successful through the interview process say. Why specifically is it important to say it aloud?
Well, because when you're in the interview itself, that's certainly what the interviewer is going to be looking for, is that you can demonstrate your reasoning and discuss your thought process with them. But also, I found that if I read through something and I have certain thoughts in my mind, unless I make those precise, either aloud or in writing, that I haven't fully cognized the thought.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And also, I'm guessing, unless you're speaking out what's going on in your head, the interviewer wouldn't know.
So certainly it's not so much about the answer that you arrive at, but how you arrive there and the justifications that you go through, from each step.
Interesting. And what if, because the interview can be 20, 40 minutes, what if you give an answer and then later on you realize that you've said something wrong? Can you fight your way back from a situation like that?
I think that's certainly fine. Yeah, just at the point that you realise there was something wrong, you can mention it, and at that point the interviewer can either say, "Oh, that's fine. We've progressed in a way which is acceptable," or they'll allow you to go back and you can progress from that point at which you think that you need to correct something.
Interesting. And James, am I correct that you've done some interviewing for for students applying to university?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what do you you've mentioned those things: passion for the subject, aptitude, and there was some.
So it was your ability to operate in that kind of environment, your ability to discuss with an expert in the field a particular topic, and to be able to justify your reasoning aloud.
So some students naturally would be extroverted, some would be introverted. So would you say this process favours students who are more outgoing?
It certainly favours students who are comfortable revealing their thoughts aloud, but that's certainly something that someone can train and get used to.
And so would you say that at university, you would meet extroverts and introverts alike who've been through the process?
Yeah, certainly, yeah.
So it's just something you can pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, guys, really, bookmark this video because lots of gold dust in it and lots of very useful advice on how to smash your UK universities, how to prepare well for them. But for now, from all of us, thank you very much, James.
Cheers.
Really appreciate it. And all the best to you guys. Good luck. And thanks for coming in.